Hi and welcome to Armstrength training while trying to learn a recipe for lemon drizzle cake, just memorizing the recipe. Participating in the exercise is at your own risk, and we directly start with the first exercise of the Armstrength training. It's the star. We have the arms out and are pressing just with the fingertips against each other, and we start pressing. But we don't have completely straight arms, we have the elbows a little bit bent. And we have a pressure rather a bit more on the second and third finger, or the thumb, than on the fourth or fifth finger, so rather a bit higher the pressure. And you should, during the whole training here, not feel pain, especially not at the fingers. So if you feel pain at the fingers, at the finger joints, then stop immediately. And you should also not feel pain at the wrists or elbows or somewhere else. But very important, first, not to feel pain at the wrists. If you do, stop. We're doing the exercise right now. So if you feel pain at the wrists by any of these exercises, don't do it. And very important, if you feel pain at the finger joints, then immediately stop. And we keep pressing, and we're done with the first exercise. Let's look for the recipe for lemon drizzle cake. Lemon drizzle cake. The source is bbcgoodfood.com, and the preparation time are 15 minutes, the cooking time 45 minutes, and it should result in 10 servings. Now the ingredients: 225 grams of self-raising flour, 225 grams of caster sugar, 225 grams of unsalted butter, 4 eggs, and 1 zested lemon. And for the drizzle, we also need 85 grams caster sugar and 1.5 juiced lemons. The next exercise, the pro. Now we have the hands again out, but this time you're pressing here just with the fingertips. Now if you had in the past injuries or problems at the elbows, then rather do the star again. So we are pressing, and again, we don't have completely straight arms, we have a little bit bend in the elbows, and we should not feel pain, not in the elbows, not in the wrists, and especially not in the finger joints. And we keep pressing. Try to be taller. So 15 minutes preparation time, 45 to cook, and 10 servings, 225 grams of self-raising flour, 225 grams of unsalted butter, and 4 eggs, and 85 grams of caster sugar for the drizzle, and 225 grams of caster sugar for the cake itself. And the name is lemon drizzle sugar, and it was with this exercise 1 zested lemon. 1 zested lemon for the cake, so 1 zested lemon for the cake, 1 zested lemon, and 1.5 juiced lemons for the drizzle. Now, how it should be done. First, we should heat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Then we should beat the 225 grams unsalted butter and the 225 grams caster sugar together. Okay, next exercise. Now we have the hand on the outside, and we are pressing these 4 hot fingers into the finars of the other hand. So this is the finar, and this is the hypophinar. We are pressing here in this region. So we have it down, and we are pressing. And the hand pressing with the palm is stronger because it presses with the hand, with the palm. And the hand pressing with the palm gives slowly in, so the other arm comes up. And again on the other side. So the hot fingers are pressing into the finars, and the hand pressing with the palm is stronger because it presses with the palm and gives slowly in and controls the upwards movement. Now again on the other side. And again, same rules as always. No pain. No pain at the elbows, no pain at the wrists, and very important, no pain at the finger joints. And we press, and we slowly come up. So we should heat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. And when we should beat last time here, then we should beat the 225 grams unsalted butter with the 225 grams caster sugar together. And the last time. And then, after we have beaten together the 225 gram unsalted butter and the 225 gram caster sugar, we should keep mixing while we slowly and one at a time adding the 4 eggs. And then we should sift in the 225 gram self-raising flour. The next exercise. It's this one. So the left hand, like one hand like this, with the whole fingers up, and again I'm pressing the whole fingers. This is the finger and hyperfinger into the finger, into the bottom of the fingers. So we're pressing again. And again the hand pressing the palm stronger and give slowly in. Now if the angle becomes a bit bad or something, then don't do it. Especially if in this angle or something like that, the ulnar-sided wrist pain starts. So when you should stop already just because of a wrist pain. So we're pressing and going up. And so as we up, we stop because the angle doesn't fit, no matter if there is any wrist pain. But if there's wrist pain, you should stop, no matter where you are. And again, press. And we come slowly up. So we should sift in the 225 gram of the self-raising flour. But that should we do only after we have one at a time added in the 4 eggs while we kept mixing. So first, heat the oven to 180 degrees, and second, beat together the 225 grams unsalted butter and the 225 gram caster sugar. And then add one at a time slowly while we keep mixing the 4 eggs, and then we should sift in the 225 grams of the self-raising flour. And then we should add the lemon zest of one zested lemon and keep mixing until all is well combined. Okay. And then we should add the lemon zest. Then we should lay in a 15 centimeters times 25 centimeter Loaf Tin Greaseproof paper. Then you should spoon in the mixture and level it. And then we should put this Loaf Tin for 45 minutes into the oven until we can put a skewer into it and put the skewer out of it again without that anything keeps sticking on the skewer. Next exercise, we hand is out and we are pressing again with the whole fingers into the fingers. And the hand pressing with the palm, give slowly in. Okay, so we should beat together the 225 gram unsalted butter and the 225 gram caster sugar. First we heat the oven So we should first heat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Then we should beat together the 225 gram unsalted butter and the 225 gram caster sugar. Then we should add slowly on one at a time the 4 beaten eggs, and keep mixing. And then we should sift in the 225 grams self-raising flour. The next exercise, but first look how it goes on. So step 9, so after we have put it into the oven, we should mix the lemon juice of 1.5 juiced lemons with 85 gram caster sugar until it's drizzle. So then you should take 1.5 juiced lemons, the juice of it, and 85 gram caster sugar and mix it together until it's drizzle. Then we should step the cake all over. We have taken the cake out of the oven and pour the drizzle over the cake. And then you should leave the cake until it's completely cooled down. And then it can be eaten. And it should be eatable for 3 or 4 days if you store it airtight. And if you store it in the freezer and if you freeze it, should be eatable for 1 month. The next exercise, both hands are out and we are turning both fists towards each other. And this is no longer an exercise where we put maximum force or strength into it. Here we just want to bring some tension onto the muscles So just bring them into these positions, into these deviations, and just hold them there. Lemon drizzle cake. So we should heat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Then you should beat together the 225 gram unsalted butter and the 225 gram caster sugar. Then we should add the 4 eggs one at a time while we keep mixing. Then you should sift in the 225 gram self-raising flour, and then we should add the pieces of one lemon, and no, we already know. Then we should lay in a 15 centimeters times 35 centimeters Loaf Tin form Greaseproof paper, and we should put it into the oven for 45 minutes, but only after we have spooned in the mixture and leveled it. And now we're done with this exercise, and we're going on to the next one. Hand on the go to 9 shoulders, hand here on the side, the fist down, and we're pressing with moderate force against the index finger. Here important, don't feel any pain, and do this only carefully. So we put it into the oven for 45 minutes, and when we look if we can put a skewer into it, and if a skewer then comes out of the cake without that anything sticks on the skewer, and if it happens, the cake is basically done, the main part of it. But we also need the drizzle, and for the drizzle we take the juice of 1.5 lemons and 85 gram caster sugar and mix it together until it's drizzled. Then we pour this drizzle over our cake, which we before that have perforated. We have made lots of holes into it. We stepped it with a skewer or fork, and we pour this drizzle over the cake which we had worked on the fork, stepped with the fork, and when we let it completely cool down, still in the Loaf Tin. And when it's edible, and if we store it airtight, it should stay like that for 3 or 4 days in this state of edibility. Now we have again go to 9 shoulders and the arms at the outside, and we bring the fist down and pressing against it, against the index finger. And if we store it in the freezer, if we store it frozen, it should be edible for 1 month. And from the other side. Okay, the last time, the lemon drizzle cake. So first, we should heat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Then we should beat together the 225 gram unsalted butter and the 225 gram caster sugar. Then we should add slowly and one at a time while we keep mixing the 4 eggs. And then the into pieces made lemon. I'm gonna look for a minute. And then the 225 gram self-raising flour. The word for the lemon is zested. Zested lemon. Now we should, no we do, we just, yes we do, we circle the arms at the outside forwards. So we add then the 225 gram self-raising flour, and we keep mixing that, and then we put into, now backwards, into a 15 centimeters times 25 centimeters Loaf Tin Greaseproof baking paper. Greaseproof paper. And now we're going here from over the middle of the arm above, over the extension digit joint, and downwards. Greaseproof paper. And then we pour in the mixture and level it. Then we put it in the oven for 45 minutes. And when we look if we can put a skewer into it, and that skewer comes out of it without that anything sticks to it, and when it's done, we take the another 58 gram of caster sugar and 1.5 the juice of 1.5 lemons and make it into drizzle, and we pour the drizzle over the cake, which we have before perforated with a fork and made holes in it. And then we let it cool down, and then can be eaten. I'm a little over the time. Thank you very much, and until next time.